Hello friends, welcome back. My name is O-Sheena. I'm going to be doing all of the, I'm going to be sharing all of the books that I read in October. So an October wrap up. I just got this headband. Let me know what you think. Like, am I a headband person? I don't know, but we're going to go with it. Okay, all of the books, here we go. You guys, mixed bag of reviews here. So it's been an interesting month. Like, certain books were really good, others were not. I have some vlogs with these books in them, so I'll link some vlogs down below if you want to see more, but let's just dive in. So, first book. It came. I'm just gonna link my video down below. Actually, let me give some feedback here. So I DNF'd this book. I signed up to review this. Really grateful to have the opportunity to read books early and to give reviews for them. But this one I had to DNF just because there were just parts of the main character that I found really frustrating to read and I couldn't look past it. Basically, this main woman, she's 40 years old and she has 2 sons and she is a widow. So her husband passed away 10 years ago and she's living her life, doing all the things, and then her old boyfriend comes back to town and she sees him at church one day and things kind of blow up from there. So she has like kind of a lot of trauma related to her relationship with him and the way that they broke up, and so she's working through that. And to be honest, the way that she worked through it was very much a turnoff for me. I did not relate to her. I didn't enjoy reading about her. In my opinion, she just came across as kind of immature and mean-spirited, and I just really don't like that. I don't like it when there's conflict because characters are just rude and have assumptions about people. And I just didn't find their relationship dynamic fun to read about. I just was cringing all the time. So I did not enjoy this book and I wouldn't recommend it. But then in the same video, I read this book, Autumn by the Sea by Millet, and I loved this book. The romance in this book was just exactly what I love to read. And the thing is, it was like a touch of hate to love, but it was so good because they were like still cordial to each other in person and still kind of were like forced together. There was a lot of like forced proximity stuff in this book. I loved their characters together. It was so cute. So watch my video. I explain everything about this, but basically you follow this girl who is like kind of an orphan. She did try to find her mom at one point and it went really bad for her, so she's kind of scarred by that. She doesn't really know anything about her background, and she is approached by this private investigator who says, I think you might be related to my client. Will you come to Maine and meet her and like see? So she decides to do it because she's really curious about her family and she wants to know, and she meets this lady and the lady has some kids, and so she does meet one of the sons, and well, the only son. There's 2 daughters and a son, and it is so stinking cute. Like, she's on a farm and it's like fall out, and it's like, it was so well written. I loved all of the scenes and the character development. Super satisfying. I can't wait to read more in this series. Very, very impressed. So yeah, highly recommend this one. That was a 5-star. Then I finally read Pixels and Paint by Kristi Hunter. This is, I think, her first contemporary romance that she's ever put out. She does have historical romance, but this was contemporary. So I got this on NetGalley, so I finally did read it. I think it came out in July or August. So I would recommend this. This was very fun. I gave it 4 stars. Definitely something different from Kristi Hunter's normal stuff. I still found that it had good humor. I liked the relationship and I liked the characters. I just found kind of like what it was set around didn't connect with me as much because this girl, she is a coder, like a computer programmer coder girl, but she's in a family of artists, so she feels very out of place. She's at this like art gallery event with her family and she ends up meeting an artist who she doesn't know anything about him. She doesn't know anything about art, so she's just talking to him like a normal person and he's kind of drawn to her for that, and basically she asks him to help teach her about art, and then so they have a friendship that forms and then something more. So to be honest, like, I did find all of the art talk and even the like coding and the project talk not that interesting to me. I just like cared about them as characters and like just seeing them develop a relationship. So that's the part that I really liked. But so that part was like done really well, and I liked that a lot. Definitely a lot of like funny banter and just like super cute moments. Like you get perspectives from both of them, which I love seeing, dual POV. And whenever we were in his head, he would just like think that she's just the most beautiful person ever, and I just love reading, you know, thoughts like that. So it was very cute. Then in my most recent video, you would have seen I did read The Letter from Briarton Park by Sarah E. Ladd. So this is my first Sarah E. Ladd book. I really enjoyed it. I will definitely be reading more from this author. I liked her characters and her writing a lot. So this is kind of set around a mystery with like a romance subplot, I would say, because you follow this main girl who is given a letter, is basically explaining her family. She is an orphan, she doesn't know anything about her family, but this letter might tell her more. So she goes to the source of the letter, and it turns out the guy who sent it has passed away, and so she's like, what do I do? So basically she meets this family at Briarton Park, and the main guy of it is the love interest, and it's very cute, but basically it's a mystery surrounding her family because there is some scandal in there, there's some secrets, so a lot of like family tea if you like reading about that. There's some hefty tea in here, so that was fun to read about. So it definitely kept me engaged the whole time, and I liked the progression of the plot. I thought it was good, and the romance was definitely very satisfying. I would have loved to see more. I felt like that was what kept me from giving it 5 stars because, you know, ultimately I don't seek out stories that don't have romance in them. And I mean, this definitely had it. But so I guess if you don't like romance, this might be good because it was very minimal in my opinion. Yeah, but definitely enjoyed reading what I did, and so I definitely want to read more from this author, so highly recommend. I'm just going through all of like the best books, I guess, because then The Letter Tree by Rachel Fordham. I loved this. I feel like for some reason I'm always shocked. I don't know why, but like this was really good. The writing, the characters, the plot, literally everything was so good. I highly recommend this. If you like romance, I'm just telling you, like, best romance ever. Seriously. I'm so glad I discovered this author. Anyway, so basically, this is kind of a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but in the best way, okay? Because you follow Laura and Isaac. They're in rival shoe company families, and they're not allowed to be friends, but without realizing it, they've been talking through letters basically their whole childhood up to adulthood, and they didn't know who they were writing to, so it's a bit of a You've Got Mail as well. Watching them like figure out who each other was, and like, oh, it was so stinking cute, I have to say. I loved it, okay? And then the mystery of why their families are rivals was very interesting to me, and I did like it. Like, definitely a lot of mystery throughout this, not even just with the rivalry, but with like other characters as well. And but truly, it's Isaac and Laura. They were so good together. I loved reading their characters and the way they communicated, and I just highly recommend, you guys. It was very good. I'm so thankful for this book, and I can't wait to keep reading from Rachel Fordham. She's great. Moving on, I did finish reading the Chronicles of Narnia this month. So I read The Silver Chair and The Last Battle. I listened to both of these on audiobook, and I really enjoyed doing that. Every audiobook has a different narrator, and The Last Battle was narrated by Patrick Stewart, which was epic, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, 5 stars for both of these. Really loved them. So then I went through trying to find some Christmas books. I did read a couple, I DNF'd some, so I'll just go through it. So Christmas at the End of Main Street, I honestly don't remember. Right. This is a fake dating story, so that was really fun. So basically, you follow this girl and guy. She works at like a ice cream shop, cake shop, I forget. She works somewhere. He comes in as like sharing his woes with her. She wants everyone to leave her alone about getting married, and he doesn't even want to get married. So they both feel like, hey, this is safe because we're not gonna fall for each other. Let's fake date to like make this easier on ourselves. So they agree, and so they fake date. And they actually fake dated. Like, they went on fake dates in public, and they acted like they were dating, which was cute. Like, I don't know, it just felt like it was actually happening, so I liked that. It was fun to read. This is a totally clean book. There's no Christian faith in it, but it is totally clean. They kiss like maybe once. I don't even remember. I don't know. Super light romance in that department. It was kind of just a very straightforward story. I wouldn't say anything stood out about it, but it was still good. So like I gave it 3 stars. And then I read Can This Be Christmas by Debbie McComber, and this book was really weird. I gave it 2 stars because like it's literally a 2-hour audiobook. And there was a point where like I started listening to it like half an hour in. I was like, wait a second, how did this all happen? Like it felt so fast that I didn't even like understand what was going on in the story, and it was like almost over at that point. And like followed a lot of different characters, and they were all very grumpy, so it was a bit of like a Scrooge story where they all like learn the meaning of Christmas and they all like have character development in that way. But there was just so many of them, and they were all so grumpy at the beginning that it just like was weird. So anyways, yeah, you follow basically these people that are at a train station and they get snowed in, so they have to stay there through Christmas, and so they have to hang out together pretty much, and they're all grumpy about it. So yeah, like it would have been good, but like it was so short that I just was like, this actually could have been a really good book if it was written longer, I guess. Then I did start reading Dating Mr. Darcy by Kat O'Keefe, I think. And I've seen this author around. I think she's like an indie author maybe, but I like, you know, I like dating shows, or I like shows, I mean, I like books about dating shows in theory, but I think in practice I don't, because I was like, oh, this is just dumb Bachelor stuff and I'm not into that anymore. And it's basically this girl wants to go on The Bachelor to get recognition from her new clothing line. So she's trying to just get advertisement. She's there for the wrong reasons, as they would say. And so that was funny at first, but then I just felt like her relationship with the guy, it felt really awkward, and I didn't see any chemistry with them. And she was just kind of annoying because she was very judgmental to the rest of the girls and even to the guy and to the show in itself. And I'm like, why are you even here? It just like kind of was like, ugh. So I DNF'd it. I was like, I really don't care, because they're obviously going to end up together and I don't care how that happens. So I'm over it. And then I read 2 books by Lee Strobel. So this is the first one. This is God's Outrageous Claims. And basically Lee Strobel like kind of goes over some of the, like, if you read the Bible and you understand what Christianity is all about and who God is, the claims that are outrageous by human standards, he like talks about each one of them. So like the first one is there's freedom in forgiving your enemies. I just felt like the truths that he wrote about in there were just great reminders, and I thought it was really well done. So yeah, this was a quick read, and I'm glad that I read it. I just love his writing so much. So I did dive into The Case for Miracles, but I actually got this on audiobook, and so that was really fun. I've never listened to an audiobook for Lee Strobel before, and he read it himself. He has a great reading voice. It was very good. And this book was so inspiring because he's trying to see if miracles are real, if they can actually happen now. And the miracles in the Bible, like, are those explainable, or, you know, were they just kind of stories and metaphors? And he, of course, does it interview style. So he goes around and interviews experts on different, like, biblical history, and then also just modern history of miracles and research and stuff like that. So I found it fascinating. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so glad to have read another book by him, and this was a gift from a subscriber, so thank you, because I have it and I read it and I loved it. I think that's it. Yeah, flew through that, but I wanted to. So I read a ton of books in October. Once again, very pleased with my reading progress. I'm doing great, and I'm excited to keep reading in November. I just can't believe that I like still read books even though I was so busy in October and I could barely put videos up, but here we are. I just love to read. The 2 standouts are definitely these books. Like, these were amazing. Highly recommend. Yeah, like this is contemporary, this is historical, whichever one you like go for it. Yeah, thank you for watching, you guys. I will link stuff down below if I mention anything, and that is the video. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye.